Here's how it was put to me, because there's a whole bunch of shit I haven't even talked to you about yet. You have what's called the Ethernet, the etherical plane that surrounds the world, and within that ether is all the knowledge and all of this crap. It's all there. Then you have the internet, which is connected to it. That's why you have to have an Ethernet connector, because we're connecting to the Ethernet. The Ethernet connector takes that, and the computer takes it and binarily changes it into code so that you can tap into that etherical plane. I told you, computers don't come from here. TV's signals don't come from here. They're coming from somewhere else. We have a station. We have stations, and stations are nothing but outposts. Sure, you can rebroadcast, but that shit's not coming from here. Of course, there's little stations and stuff that do stuff, and there's local people that make films. But all this crazy, wacky shit, not coming from here. If you guys remember when I took a picture of the TV screen, and then I had that dude that didn't look like he was having a good day on it with his hand plastered in his face. Half his head was red, the other half was blue, and the center was purple. That was not on the screen when I took that picture. This is how it was explained to me by whoever or whatever these guys are that live in this other plane and that cut in on my Skype. This place that we're at is like a dream state. Okay? Everybody's walking around in this dream. The difference with us is that we are awake in the dream, but we're not awake. So basically, if you want to talk about lucid dreaming, that's what you're doing right now. Is that you're awake in this thing, but you're not awake out of it. The rest of the people around you that don't get it are in the dream and are not awake in the dream. That's why they can't see it when you try and express it to them, because it's impossible for them to see it. Yet we're still not out of the dream. We're awake walking around in it. I'll give you an example. At the mall last year, I was talking to a woman, and I was explaining to her some of this stuff, and this attorney and stuff, and she tells me when I get done talking, she goes, I had the same conversation with my daughter the night that she was born. Well, that's completely ludicrous. First of all, you had a conversation with your daughter the night she was born. Okay, I can see a mother talking to her newborn. I can't see her talking to her newborn about Saturn. Okay? So I just kind of vacated from that premise, because that's, that type of stuff just proves to me that this is a dream state. The stuff on the TV, the response by that woman, all the other stuff that has happened. So, commercials like this, the reason that we can't pin this shit down is because it's fragmented. It's like watching a movie that's cut into a bunch of pieces, and you're trying to put the movie together in your head so you can get a script, so you can piece it together. And that's what we're doing, because the Saturn thing runs through all of this. But it's not a complete movie. There's parts that are missing. And so when you understand that, and that's where the real mystery lies, is why is this movie torn up? Why can't we wake up? I mean, we know that we're asleep. We're way ahead of everybody else. But, which to me, I mean, maybe we're dead. Who knows? Maybe that's what the sleep is. And we're just aware that we're asleep, meaning that we're not really in the lives that we were in at one time. And no, don't freak out. I'm not saying that's the absolute positive. I'm just saying it's a scenario. But there's something definitely wrong. I know something happened, either in 2000 and sometime around the turn of the century, or at least for me around 2007. Things are different, but they're skewed enough that I can tell that somebody or something is trying to pull the wool over my eyes, or it's trying to let me know that things are different. It's subtly, but intentionally. I'm not sure. But that's it. I mean, we're tied into the etherical plane through the Ethernet connector, which goes into the internet. That's why you have the guy, Philos Biblos, that wrote about Yahoo being Saturn. His name was Philo. And then the guy that wrote the program for the internet, Yahoo, whose name is David Philo. It's just, it's going from one step to the next, or from the bigger to the smaller. So if you can understand that something is definitely going on, you know, and whoever, whatever. And I ask these things. They asked me if I had any questions, and I mean, I've been living this weird life for so long. You know, I just asked them if they liked ice cream because I wanted to be an asshole, kind of. And then I asked them if they thought I was a snappy dresser, and they said basically bullshit. And then I asked them what they looked like, and they said if you saw what we looked like, you'd be scared. You'd be scared to death. And that they were so bright that if you got close to them, you'd burn up. So, you know, one can suspect where that's coming from. But you know, I haven't told you guys all the things that have happened to me in my life. Some things would be pertinent, other things wouldn't. I'm just getting back to the original thing here. When we look at this guy making a commercial flying away on the Crow and then flying to Saturn, and then here he is years later coming here and say he's here for one reason, is to cause domestic violence. You know, whether this is real or it's a dream, whatever, it's going to play out. So you need to really pay attention. You know, because there's something going on a level that most people, they're not even awake to it. And when I say awake, they're not. We're awake in this dream. Yes, if you step in front of a bus, you're going to die. This isn't the Matrix like it's portrayed in the movie. But the bottom line is we're awake in this state, but we're still actually asleep. The other people are really, really asleep, both on the outside and the inside. So look at it like this, if this helps. Pretend like we're all in a coma ward, and all of us are in a coma. If we were standing on the outside looking at ourselves on the machine, you would see that there was brain activity. Okay, that means that there's hope. These other people that are walking around you, they're flatline. So that's the easiest way I can explain it to you. We're aware. And we're showing that, you know, there's some kind of stimulus going on by thinking and acting and doing things. These other fuckers are flatliners. I don't know what happens to these type of people. I don't, you know, you can't explain this to them. I think they have to realize it on their own. And only certain people are going to wake up to it. I don't know how to put it where I don't offend anybody in a religious arena, but you know, either you know, not every kernel pops in the bag. No matter how hard you fucking heat it, treat it, it don't pop. You know, most people aren't interested in this crap. And there's a whole fucking world of this stuff, man. Everywhere you look. I mean, something as simple as when you look at the World Trade Center falling down, it's the exact same design as Sideshow Bob's hair on The Simpsons, which Matt Groening is a really deep into the masonry. So he understands all of that. Sideshow. You know, so whatever. Take it for what it is.